Hi everyone, it's me, Alex, or Go Ask Alex, and I've had a lot of questions recently about my ostomy and how it works and that sort of thing. So I just thought that I would make a few little informational and educational videos that could be used by my fans, members of the community, or really just anybody to learn a little bit more about what it's like to live with an ostomy and how they work. For the purpose of this video, I'm only going to be talking about ileostomies since that's what I have. Just going to be very specific to that. So if you're looking for information on a different type of ostomy, I can't help you. I don't know. Something that a lot of people don't know is that there are actually different types of appliances that you can wear. The key difference being a one-piece or a two-piece, kind of like a swimsuit. And the way that those work is actually pretty drastically different. So I wanted to show you the difference and tell you a little bit about the pros and cons of the different types. So just to start, this is the type of appliance that I use. This is by Coloplast, and it is the Sensura Mio Midi drainable pouch. This is the part that attaches to the body back here, and then this is the part that you would use to empty the pouch. Emptying and changing are two different things that I think people get a little bit confused about, so I can clarify that as well. Emptying the appliance is just done through the bottom here, and then changing it means taking the whole thing off and putting a new one on. So just wording is different. This is a one-piece appliance, which, yeah, that's the kind that I use. But in order to explain how it's different, it's a little bit easier to just explain the two-piece product first. There is an adhesive on the back of the appliance, which sticks to the skin, and that is called a wafer or a flange. So in this example, this would be the wafer that goes on the body, and it's got a little hole here that you cut to your size. So this goes on the body, and then in case of the two-piece, the appliance just goes onto it. So this one has an adhesive. It's got like a sticky rim here that sticks to the, I believe it's silicone plastic here, and that's what keeps them together. I personally am not a huge fan of the sticky tape option. I just don't think that it is strong enough, and it has to be specifically lined up. There's this little strip without the adhesive here, and it has to be lined up perfectly on the wafer, and I don't know, I think that there's just too much room for error. The alternative is this click and seal option. So this is the appliance. This is the part that has the adhesive, which just peels off here and sticks to your skin. And then the other side has this part that clicks on. I don't use these ones either. I just find that they're quite, I guess bulky would be the right word. Like they stick out quite a bit, on me at least, on my frame. But you
One hour later.
It's a little bit bulkier, so if you can see the one piece as compared to the two piece, there's quite just a lot more material there that if you're wearing really tight pants or yoga pants, like I often do, it just ends up being a bit bulkier. It's not as comfortable. But some people really prefer it, and there's tons of reasons why somebody might prefer it. In contrast, this is the one piece. So the adhesive part, the wafer, is actually just attached to the appliance. It's all in one piece, and you can see that by kind of like pulling it apart here. It's just all connected together, so there's no risk of that ever detaching. But then of course, in order to change the appliance, you have to take everything off. You have to change the whole thing. You can't just leave the base plate on. This is the type that I wear, and there's a lot of reasons why I prefer it, but I think that might be a whole second video just because there's just so much information, and I want to make these videos really like easily digestible. Quickly, just a few of the pros and cons of the different types of appliances. A lot of people prefer a two-piece. I would say the vast majority of people with an ostomy who I've met use a two-piece, and that's just because of how simple it is to change the product. So a lot of people use the same base plate wafer flange for 3 or 5 days because that's just staying on the skin, but they'll just change the actual appliance daily. Or every other day. Everybody's got a different system. So that means it's much easier on your skin because you're not constantly pulling an adhesive off. It's much, much faster, like in the mornings. And it can be, depending on the kind of system you're using, it can be more cost effective as well, or it can be more costly. It really just depends on you and your body. The one piece, in contrast, in order to change any part of it, you have to take the whole thing off. However, because of the filter, your lifestyle, how active you are, things like your bathing routines, your career, your comfort level, there's a lot of reasons why one or the other might be more practical. And for me, the one piece just works a lot better. These are both considered midi, so they're a smaller version of appliance. There are actually longer versions, but just because of how low my surgical site, my stoma, is on my abdomen, I prefer to have a smaller appliance, which just means I need to empty it more often. And what you see at the bottom here, the reason why this one's got like a dangle thing and this one doesn't, this one's just folded up. I don't know how well I can do this when it's not on my body, but the way that you fold it up, it's just like this, and then it's got this lovely little Velcro bit here, and I just put the Velcro together there, and then suddenly it's just tiny little guy. And you can do that with all of the Coloplast products, thankfully. Hollister and some of the other companies don't have that like super cool Velcro option. And one other really cool thing it can do is actually fold up halfway, and it can become like mini for when you might want to have it out of the way if you're doing like a sport, or if you're having intimate times or whatever, you can just fold it up like that. So anyways, that is the difference between the one piece and the two piece. I am going to make a second video, which I will link in the comments as soon as it's up, and that's going to be on why I prefer the one piece to the two piece and why that works for me. For now, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned something today. Like, comment, share this video if you would like to. It'll definitely help with my engagement, and I think that it will help to educate the community and in that way support the amazing community of disabled people out there on the internet. See you soon in my next video, or you'll see me soon.